Hello Horror Hounds, it's time to take another look at an episode from season 2 of Freddy's Nightmares. You can see all of my reviews for every single episode of the first season of Freddy's Nightmares. Just go to my playlists and there'll be one there called Freddy's Nightmares Season 1. Season 2, Episode 2 is an episode called Heartbreak Hotel, and it stars not only Stacy goddamn Keach, so I'm just looking forward to seeing him anyway, but also Tiffany Helm. Fans of old Jason up there, especially that Jason, Friday the 13th Part 5, will know Tiffany Helm as the freaking awesome robot dancer who does all of that kind of shit. She's in it as well. What more can you ask? So it turns out it was Stacy Keach Sr. in this episode, not Stacy Keach, and unfortunately that wasn't the only disappointment for the episode. Neither of these segments, the A or the B story, really had anything to do with Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. We weren't really dreaming or nightmares at all. They would have been passable episodes of Tales from the Dark Side, I guess, but really absolutely nothing to write home about in comparison to some of the better episodes of Freddy's Nightmares. I'd even go so far as to say that this was one of the worst episodes of the show I've seen so far. Under another guise, the A story, the first segment, would have been quite enjoyable. I mean, it passed the time. It was hokey and it was goofy. It wouldn't have been out of place really in a show like Erie, Indiana. Remember that? I'm quite keen to rewatch Erie, Indiana actually as it goes. But essentially, a journalist on a sleazy sensationalist National Enquirer style, you know, Bigfoot and UFO rag of a newspaper, gets sent to a hotel in Springwood where it's been claimed that there have been sightings of Elvis. And whilst he's stuck there, he concocts various headline stories, and the headlines that he concocts comes true. There's a nice neat little twist in the end about his inability to clarify pronouns in sentences, which means that the final headline he writes comes back to bite him on the ass. But the only thing really of note to any Nightmare fans at all is that the first headline he concocts while he's at the hotel is "I gave birth to the devil's baby," and there's a fantasy dream sequence where this baby is born, and they used the baby Freddy prop from the Dream Master that had been released just a few weeks previously. So we get a cameo of the Freddy baby from Nightmare on Elm Street 5 in it, and that's about all there is to write about that. It's a 22 minute long sort of sting in the tail, Tales from the Dark Side style story. The second story, the B story, the only connection it shares with the A story is the A story starts in the hotel and ends in a hospital. The B story starts in that same hospital and ends back at the hotel. A man who's been in a car crash and has been staying at the hospital with amnesia since then. His family arrive to try and help re-trigger his memories. The memories that come back are quite disturbing of him committing a murder. There's a nice little twist at the end of this one as well that you probably will see coming. It's got a sort of double indemnity vibe to it, business dealing, shady murders and things like that. But again, really has nothing to do with Nightmare on Elm Street, nothing to do with Freddy Krueger, nothing to do with nightmares. The only way that they've sort of hung this on the nightmare aspect of it is that his memories are coming back to him in dreams. The only tiny item of note in this is that the car crash footage they use at the start of this segment is reused footage from an episode way back in season 1. strangely enough, considering that the A story is about a journalist for that one, the episode that Crash first happened in is about a student who during his summer break is working on the local newspaper, and he'd rather be out having fun and the like. So there's a weird newspaper connection there. He reports on the car crash that happens in this episode. I've made that much more complicated than it needs to be. Even that is just a minor little point of trivia rather than any sort of recommendation. This episode is an absolute skip it.